What up, what up, what up, what up, though? What up, though? Right, back from the top. All right. After work stream in the motherfucking studio. Hope everybody had a good day. You know, the day's starting to wind down, getting close to the evening time. You know what I'm saying? It's time to chill and relax. I done did my work for the day. Now we about to chill in the studio, make some beautiful ass art, like we always do, you know what I'm saying? All right. Yeah, yeah. All right. What is this? Russian? You're Russia? In Russia, man, that's Russian. What's your name say? American. What? Rico. American and Mexico. Really trying to figure out what your name say, bro. Got some juice in the cup. Oh yeah. That's a nice adult beverage there. It's almost going on. Man, what up, bro? Oh my god. This shit tastes so good right now. Alexei Elsukov. Elsukov. Oh, Elsukov. Alexei Elsukov. Russian. From Yekaterinburg. Yekaterinburg. Elsukov. Elsukov. It's nice. You have a very strong name. Russian is just like a strong ass fucking language. You just sound tough. You know, Russian just sound tough. You know what I'm saying? Yo, we got some Americans, we got some Russians, we got some Japanese. We all come together for art and some education, man. You know what I'm saying? This shit is universal. Riri say she is Japanese. Riri, Japanese. Alexei is Russian. That's what's up, man. You know what I'm saying? This is international education. This is how we do it. Hope everybody having a good day, whatever time it is where you're at. You know what I'm saying? Hope you're having a good day wherever you're at. And for me, it's what time is it? It's 4 o'clock in the afternoon where I'm at. Eastern Atlantic. Eastern time in America. It's 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And I am smoking and drinking. I had a little drink. It's all gone now. Yo, motherfucker, Americans talk shit about Russians, but I like Russia, man. You know what I'm saying? Motherfucking Russians are strong-willed, strong-minded. They have a sense of nationhood. They have a sense of loyalty to their country. And they fucking president and there's nobody to fuck with, yo. You don't fuck with Putin. That's why they kept this motherfucker in office for how long has Putin been president? 16 years or some crazy ass shit. I don't know if that's a dictator or what, if the Russian people actually like having Putin in power. But yeah, it's just something about Russian culture, man. You don't fuck with Russians or any old kind of way, cause they're strong, tough ass people, man. These motherfuckers durable as shit. You know what I'm saying? And you watch them goddamn the strongman contest. Some of the strongest men in the world be fucking Russians. Motherfucking Slavic ass motherfuckers, big ass motherfucker built like a goddamn brick. Watch some strongman competition. See how many of them motherfuckers be Russian and shit, man. Motherfuckers, you can't fuck with them motherfuckers, man. Motherfuckers built different. You know? Like, I love, I love, I love Japanese culture. Yo, exactly. The Japanese culture is so fucking lit, yo. Motherfucking, yo, when I start watching anime and them old Japanese karate flicks and shit, man, yo, just always love that shit, yo. Japanese got a fucking long, ancient history, yo. Yo, their history, and they've been able to keep their history intact, yo. The Japanese got a long, long history. That shit stretched back thousands of years, yo. You know what I'm saying? That shit crazy, but their culture is pretty fucking cool, yo. When I started traveling, definitely going to Japan. Definitely going to Japan. I gotta see Tokyo. Otaku. hmm You know what I'm saying? You know, you motherfucking what bad day was? Autocon. You know what I'm saying? Yo, Japanese been up on like their science fiction and their anime is just that shit has been ahead of its time for years, and that's just how their culture is. Like they just think outside the box, yo. That's why I own a fucking Alexis now, built in Japan, yo. My car was made in Japan. You can see the fucking the stamp on the inside of the door plate. Yo, motherfuckers are meticulous about everything, yo. You know what I'm saying? You get you a Toyota or a Lexus, make sure that shit was built in Japan. Don't get you a Toyota built in America, in Colorado or Canada or somewhere. Make sure you let the Japanese build that shit, man. That shit gonna last forever, bro. I'm telling you right now. I ain't got no worries in my car, yo. It's the Lexus, which is the luxury version of Toyota. It's Toyota's luxury fleet, and then it was built in a Japanese plant and then shipped over here, bro. That shit gonna last me forever, bro. I already know. I already know. That shit just they different, you know what I'm saying? They culture is different when it just come to doing all kind of shit. They just more meticulous, more detail oriented than Americans are. You know what I'm saying? I feel like I need me another drink, but it's a weeknight. I got work in the morning. I don't really want to drink too much, and I just had a drink, but I'm still kind of thirsty. I really just I really should just have a water, you know, and just flush my system out. See, that's that drink. That's that drink coming right there, yo. Whoo! I can still taste that shit. It was one of those old cheap, whatever's, what the it was. Like a Smirnoff Ice or some shit. Don't laugh at me. Don't laugh at me. I had a long day. You know what I'm saying? I just wanted something sweet, like a little sweet, juicy flavor with some alcohol in it. So I just grabbed like a little Smirnoff berry, whatever the fuck that shit was. It was tasty. You know what I'm saying? I don't like drinking them shits like that. That shit make me piss too much. I'd rather just have some hard liquor. You know what I'm saying? Some tequila. That's my drink of choice. Alright, so since we're back in the studio, we're going to continue to work on this painting. Over the past couple of days, I really have been focusing on her hair, trying to just slowly detail the hair out because it's complicated. There's a lot of hair. The Glenlivet. What the fuck is that? Is that a wine? A Chardonnay? What the fuck is that? I've never heard of that shit, yo. And it starts out the. What? I've been drinking the Corona. Nobody don't say that shit. The Glenlivet. What? I've been drinking the Blue Moon. It's a Scotch whiskey. I don't even understand that sometimes, yo. You know what I'm saying? First of all, it's even hard for me to understand, like, actually, like, what is liquor? Like, what is it distilled from? You know, and then how do you make different types of liquor? Like, brandy, scotch, rum. I don't know how this shit is, tequila. It's the different plants it come from, but then, man, I don't know. But then how can you have, I thought you can have scotch or whiskey, but now you got a scotch whiskey. Is this like an Arnold Palmer of alcohol? A half and half? Because I don't understand the scotch whiskey, man. That shit sound like, no offense, that shit sound like something winos drink, man. You see the old hobos on the side of the corner with the raggedy clothes, looking all disheveled, with the old crinkly brown paper bag in their hand. I always imagine in my mind what's inside that bag is something like some Scotch whiskey or something. Man, see, I'm drinking Scotch whiskey. You smoke cigarettes with that shit, man? You gotta have a cigar, a cigarette, or something where you... That shit don't seem like you can just drink that by itself. That's a tobacco drink. You gotta have some tobacco smoking that, drinking that shit, man. I'm drinking, sipping on some Scotch whiskey. That shit sound hot. That shit sound like liquid fire. It's 12 years old. They say that shit actually pretty bomb. Man, look, I can't do nothing but take your word for it. I know you got good taste. So, I mean, hey, shit. And I'll make a toast right to you, bruh. Say, goddamn, he said that shit the bomb. I know you got good taste. So I take your word for it. I just saying, it just sound funny. That's all I'm saying. You put ice on that shit, or you drink it hot? Once again, man, that shit just sound like something just hot. You just drink that shit hot. Leave that bitch sitting in the sun. And then take a swig out that bitch. Ooh, fire. telling you. Mm. I've been drinking tequila for over a year now. I think. I mean, I can't even remember really like. Well, I've been drinking Captain Morgan since my teenage years, yo. Like my late teens and 20s. Like when it comes to like hard liquors, like Captain Morgan, always kept that shit around. I went through several years where like I was on the white liquors, like uh, the Belvedere and the Grey Goose. I know I drank them shits for like 3 years, yo. I drank vodka for a long time, yo. Grey Goose, Sky, um, Absolute, New Amsterdam. Like I was on them shits for like years, yo. And then I went to the Cavassier, which is a cognac, and Hennessy, which is a cognac, and there was another cognac I used to drink, and I was drinking the Browns for a little while, and then for like I'm not really a big drinker. Then for a while, like I really don't drink shit, and now like I said, in the past couple years since I keep a little bar downstairs, man. I normally just keep a couple bottles of wine. I got a bottle of sake down there. I had that fucking shit for like 3 years. I ain't even opened that bitch. Just I don't know. I just be grabbing shit. But I know like when I grab like wines, I drink. Me and my girl would drink a couple bottles of wine and like every other week or something. Then I just keep a big ass bottle of tequila right now. Like that's my main thing. I do have like some Grand Marnier, which is it's a liqueur, and I have some Di Serono, which is another liqueur. And then what else I got down there? I got some Captain Morgans. Like I said, I always keep that shit, bro. Or just the original spice rum and a bottle of tequila. That Don Julio, what? Oh, I feel you, no ice, motherfucker. Just take out the whole freezer with his shit. Like fuck it, you know what I'm saying? I gotta put the bottle in the freezer. Now you moving, the freezy pops out the way. You pushing the toaster strudels to the side. The pack of chicken, that shit all the way in the back of the freezer now, cause you want your shit cold. Mm-hmm. You see, I just want to take shots. I need my shit cold off the top. I feel you though. And like beers and shit, I really haven't drank beers in like fucking years, yo. Like a beer. I say if I go out to eat, yo, if I go out for dinner or something, if they don't have Angry Orchard, I don't really drink no other beers. I'm not buying a beer. And Angry Orchard is a hard cider, so there is a difference to it. It's not like it doesn't have that hoppy beer flavor. Like, ugh, I'm so over that shit. But if, like they don't have like a some kind of cider, then I'll just get a Long Island or some shit. But I don't really like beers no more. You know what I'm saying? I said I felt like having something to drink this afternoon, but I ain't get no beer. I got like one of those, like I said, it was a what I said that shit was. I don't know, some fruity ass shit. Anyway, I don't know why that won't pop up. My man sent me a link to some shit. Mm, anyway, screw that. Uh, 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 uh. Whoa. Bro, I'm having so much trouble. Uh, I'm having so much trouble fucking with this down. Do with this information as you will. Let me teach y'all a little trick, alright? Do with this information as you will. Okay, that's crazy. Yeah. If y'all guys ain't on my social media, man, y'all should follow my social media. Who remember this commercial? Everybody working as a personal stylist. You're falling. Once you hear the Gap calling, you can't resist the shopping. Big ballin', not stopping. Yes, y'allin'. Jeans popping in every mall in town and city. GAP gritty, ready to go for us, by us on the low. G, that's for getting it. A for always. P, that's for power and the people that praise backwards. P for popular. A for attitude. G, get it going, Daddy. Gap is on the move. How easy is this? Yeah. I know you like your outfit stylish. Any other line? And then it took a minute for a lot of the people to peep that shit, but LL Cool J did a Gap commercial, and Gap paid him to do a commercial, but he advertises FUBU in the Gap commercial. And he says for us, by us. And he's literally wearing a FUBU hat. The hat he's wearing has FUBU on it. It's not a Gap hat. And it's like, how insane was that? How that was just genius. How you're advertising two brands, and one brand, the black owned company, is getting free advertisement, and another uh, major national brand's commercial. That shit was fucking genius. That shit was fucking genius, yo. Like I said, it literally it literally took somebody else to point that shit out to me, yo. Man, it's like, it's crazy how you rocking the FUBU shit, right? I'm like, so? He's like, nigga, it's a Gap commercial. I'm like, oh shit, you're right. That was pretty fucking slick, LL. Yeah, this shit crazy about this fucking shit though. Let me take a bathroom break, and then I guess we'll get started painting, yo. The Suez Canal is blocked by what? For what? Hmm.
Minutes, I usually don't. I don't know, 10 minutes. I don't know. I don't think about. Uh, I limit time for like when I'm drawing more, but and the 10 minutes is gonna be more of like, yeah, adding details, and refining. I think that's how you write it. Refining details, and explaining more, and more like a free session, like a free drawing for me. Because I have different ways of drawing the head, but I want to start with this is kind of like the structure of today, and very messy how I do my my list of things that I have to do. So that we doing. And this is gonna be fun because I'm gonna be adding like extra elements. Before I continue, I want to let you know that in the description below there's a Pinterest board with the information, with the reference that we're gonna be using today. So you can go and click on the description, and there's gonna be a Pinterest board with all the all the images that I've been using today, and some more that I've been adding, right? And then there's also some like highlighted tutorials. Let me things like this. Highlighted tutorials that I have done in the past that covers the structure, right? Highlighted head tutorials, because I have two tutorials where I explain step by step how I do all of these. So if you guys want to revise that, then you guys can revise how I construct the face and I construct all that. The tutorials are a little bit old, but the knowledge is the same. So if you go and check the description, you can find the tutorials. Let's get rid of this highlighted word because I don't think it's necessary. But you know, you guys can find some of that head tutorials that I have there, and check that, and you know, go step by step, because the thing about drawing the head, it can take like a long time. This is not something like I just teach you here and that's done. But I'm gonna, you know, I'm gonna go with a both half and half, like the things that I know, the things that I like to do when I draw, and the things that you can look for when you draw the head, and all of that stuff. Okay, so the information is down there. Also, my brushes for Procreate are down there, because I get the questions a lot. So the brushes, the tutorials, and the pinboard with the images are gonna be in the description down there. So you can open that and check it. So you can see that. I also going to, I think I added another Pinterest, or you can visit my Pinterest and you're gonna find a head planner, like a head, like it's called like a skulls and head, something like that. And there you will find more reference for the head structure that you can use for your. And just go down there. I make sure this time to add all of that, so you guys can go to like the place and then you get it, right? You get it there. And so yeah, so that will be what we're gonna be doing today. So, and I already did some drawings here. These were like warm-ups for me, because I need my warm-ups. And before starting with some photos or anything, before we go and dive into it, I want to, you know, go over some of the techniques or some of the ways that I draw the head. This is not like a special way of drawing it, but this is how I tend to draw when I'm like warming up of any kind. I always draw the head structure. Like I've done this so many times. Like I have done this. This is the way I like to draw the head. You know, I always like to add the neck, and I draw this structure. And if you see my sketchbook, I sometimes am just chilling and I'm just drawing this stuff again and again and again and again and again. I just draw it so many times, and because it's like my base, right? Here we can go anywhere we want. We can have the skull, and then always add the neck, right? And this is kind of like the process that I like to do for my drawings. I already know many of the information, obviously, that's why I'm doing this, of planes. I know the information of volumes and what are the parts to look. So I'm not always creating like every construction and all of that step-by-step construction. Of course, I have done that in the past a lot. So when I'm drawing the head, I'm probably gonna be skipping some of these and then just adding the marks that I need, right? And that'll be for like most of the rest of my drawings. But this structure, this part of the drawing is the most important, I think, for everybody to get. It's very simple though, but it's very you always need to practice this, or like just draw it. So it's like second nature, right? So I'm always drawing this stuff, and it's funny because like after I do this, I can just change it, or I can make the head bigger, or I can play with the same structure and just have fun, right? You can have fun with this stuff, and so it's always like the same pattern. And sometimes I just do the same head again and again and again. It doesn't matter. I just do it a lot of times, right? right? So I always do that. I always do these drawings and I always start with a circle. I'm gonna do this step by step right now, so when I keep doing it, I don't have to repeat it every time, right? Because also it's on the tutorial, right? So we want to have that kind of circle first, and from here we can go anywhere, right? This is kind of like telling like where the head or the mass is gonna go, and this represents all of this area here, which is like a ball, right? All of this stuff is the head, right? The cranium or the brain area. That's where I'm trying to like find that mass, and then after that I'm gonna attach the jaw and the neck and everything, right? But this is what it is for, so you don't get confused. This is kind of like this is that mass, and then I like to bring one line down from one side, and then maybe like a center line, depending, and then I start building my head. This is the side of the head. I already explained this on the tutorial, so you can check that. And then I go down and I bring the jaw, right? I sometimes like to keep it very loose because I know I might change things, and sometimes you should make some marks. I like to at the ears, and then I like to draw a line from the top of the ear to find where I'm gonna add the forehead, right? The forehead, this forehead, and then I can focus on the rest, right? Focus on the rest. I will suggest you guys to do a lot of studies of skulls. I've done so many, and I learned more about the face and the head and the construction and all of that just by doing so many. And I love to draw skulls, so it's like a plus, right? Who doesn't like to draw skulls, right? So I always like drawing. I like to draw these. If you have seen my artwork before, I always like to throw some kind of like skull drawing. Maybe I'm saying it wrong. Skull. That's a hard word, right? So I like to do my skull drawing. This is what we are reference, right? So I have done plenty, and I suggest you to study this a lot, because at the end, all of these features that we have here of the face and everything is just everything is just inside that. It's on that skull, right? So that's kind of like the structure of it. These steps are ways of just lay down the main masses of our faces and all that. But learning how to draw the skull like properly, and this is from imagination. So I might look at a reference somewhere like later on, and you will get more of that mass. If you see the skull, this is the area I was talking about, right? All of this at the top. This is the mass that I try to look when we are doing that circle. That circle that we do here, that's what I'm representing with this. And that's just the first step, right? Because we can represent that as a circle, as a sphere. I would like to say sphere instead of a circle, because a circle is flat, but a sphere has volume, right? So a sphere is like it has volume. Well, that was not cute, right? It has a volume, right? So I like to say more sphere than a circle. Circle is just like flat, right? So I like to think more about this is like a circle, but then I want to make it as a sphere. So what I do is start like dividing it, right? Divide that. I start dividing the sphere and adding some volume, and then you just draw like a beach ball. You just draw a beach ball, and then that's it. That's all you need to know. You draw a beach ball, and then you will be able to draw a head. And basically, that's what it is, right? And because the sphere now is a 3D object, right? It's a 3D, 3-dimensional, and you can put this inside a box, right? Inside a box. That's where that sphere lives, right? So this is probably the hardest part, to be honest, when drawing the head, is that because we say always like, oh, just draw a circle, and then just find this and this, but your brain's like, I don't know where to put this stuff. It's like, I don't know where, right? Because circle is just flat, like I said. But if we think about it as a sphere, and then we have divisions, just by having these divisions, adding form, then we have like a three-dimensional object, and that's what we want to have. We have to have that sense of the sphere, volume, and inside a box somehow, right? Because we know that we have a face, right? We have a face, but the face has it's like it's inside a box, right? You have the front of the face, and then you have the side of the face with the ear. So we have to think about those. Which side is the front, and what is the sides, right? So that we have a better sense of how to move this, because then later we can move that box, and we can actually have some kind of like more complicated structure, right? Because we have like a box, and then we have the nose, and we have a sense of where things are going to be in different positions. This is when it gets difficult, right? Because we are drawing the head in different positions, but it's just basically drawing that head, and then drawing that sphere and put it like inside here, right? So, and these are the things that I want to find when I'm drawing the head, regardless if I see the photo and it's very complicated, you know. If we see the photo is too complicated, just try to see a photo and then like, okay, this is the mass of the head, and the face is kind of like tilted. So I wanna try to find like if I imagine a box there, maybe I can find the way of like the tilt of the eyes, the corners of the head, and the ear and everything, no? But we gotta know that it's inside a box, okay? So yeah, that will be kind of like how I think that we should be thinking when we do this. And that's why when it comes to this, I already know that my box is like here. So so as we learn to draw more and more and more and more, we don't think about these boxes. We have that box in our brain. We have that box where all of these things, these elements are gonna be living inside that box. And that way we're gonna have more structure, and we're gonna have like a nice three-dimensionality to our thing, because we divide things, and then we can focus on the specifics, right? That is all the rest of the mouth and whatever we're gonna draw. And this applies for like this applies for I mean, kind of like a realistic way, but it doesn't matter, because if you want to draw like anime characters or whatever, it's just about proportions, but it's the same kind of thing. The sphere, and we find the head, and the jaw, and we find the ear, and then we find maybe we need to make the head a little bit bigger, right? And then we can add the rest in a more like an anime style. But still, the more structure you know, and more of the planes you know, you can actually make the right lines into your drawing and make it look more like an anime, or like more like cartoonish. But it's just that's why it's so hard to draw anime. Sometimes it's really hard to draw anime, even though the drawings are simple. It's really difficult, because you have to know where are you gonna place those lines, right? And that's the thing, like this knowledge that I'm saying, it applies for any kind of characters you want to draw. It doesn't matter, it doesn't matter. It's just having that three-dimensionality on your drawings, and figure out those things as according to the character. And that's something that it took me a long time to understand, because like, oh man, I don't want to draw like realistic heads, or like all of that stuff. Like, I just want to have fun drawing my anime characters or whatever. But I found myself like having a lot of trouble figuring out how things should look, and how things should like look in a more simplified way, like anime, right? Anime, and this is like a generic way of drawing anime, because there's like a lot of different ways of doing the anime, right? According to whatever you guys are, your style is. It's like if you look at like, I don't know, Death Note, the characters look different, more realistic. So that's the thing. If you look at JoJo, if you like a JoJo, or yeah, if you like a JoJo manga, or like a JoJo anime, you will see that they use the lines of the face to kind of like emphasize a structure, and it's like very is there, right? So just all the elements are simplified to make it look like more like an anime. So is that kind of bar that we have here, is like realistic and more like cartoonish. Cartoonish meaning anime, cartoon, and then realistic, realistic, right? So we have to we can move freely from here to here to here to whatever our style is, you know. But the more you know this realistic way of drawing, or more like a structural right way of drawing things, this is gonna become so easy. And then maybe there's a point where you don't need to know all of this stuff, but you can pick and you can change and you can create your own head designs. You know, you can change it and you can draw all the different. You can find your style basically, right? Because you know this is the study that we do, all the study, all the stuff that we do, and then we can translate it and change it to this, right? And then we can create all the characters, like changing the face, changing the head, changing the proportions, but we know that, we know what is the main structure of the head. So we can have freedom, right? Drawing our characters or whatever, like you later decide what kind of like art style you want, right? For your drawings, and what kind of things you want to create with your characters or whatever, right? Right? But it's basically following the same thing. The more lines we add, more structure, it's just gonna make us a better artist regardless, right? And we can have a lot of fun creating different characters for whatever comics we have, and then all our characters won't look the same because we only know how to do the same kind of eye. Oh, we know how to do this eye, and that's how all my characters look the same, right? So that's kind of like my mini lecture about head drawing, right? And this is kind of like what I wanted to like explain again. I know you guys know these or you haven't seen any of these, but you can again check my tutorials, check other people's tutorial, and find other artists that do the drawing the head, other channels here, and try to learn from everything, from everybody. So the lesson is the lesson. The lesson is to learn from, actually not from everybody, from artists that are good, from good artists, people who have a lot of time drawing, that they have experience and they can teach you different ways of drawing. If you see a face that doesn't look right and you want to learn the face, I wouldn't go to that, right? I would go to somewhere like someone who knows this stuff, and someone who can actually do this. So make sure that you're checking good artists. There's a lot of good artists on YouTube. I will say Ahmed Aldori, Sinis, Proco is a good one. Marco Bucci, all of these guys are really good, and those are the ones I would look for. I'll try to avoid learning how to draw the head for like anime characters only, and more focus on this structure, because this is actually, all of this information will give you freedom to draw whatever you want, however you want. You can draw comics, you can draw a cartoony, you can draw whatever. So have freedom by learning the right ways, but learning in different ways, you know, because everybody has a different ways. No, there's a Bridgman, there's Loomis, there's Bridgman. I don't know if I'm gonna write Bridgman real well. Bridgman, and there's like Bill Pooh. There's like so many people who have different ways. So always compare different ways of doing this, doing the head or doing the basic how you call that, doing the fundamentals, and then you combine. Like I learned how to do this, not because I created this method or anything. I just combine it from different artists, from different ways of solving problems, and even until now, I'm still learning. I'm still practicing, right? Right. So I had to drink some water. stop talking, guys. I have to drink some water.
So this dude is pretty smart. You can tell like English isn't his first language.
That's how you're gonna get some freedom. Like learn this, learn the classical way. Learn.
He's writing notes in English. So he's drawing. He's showing you little drawing tutorials. He's explaining to you, and he's writing in English. Like, and you can obviously tell that's not his first language. I can speak more Spanish than I can spell. If I had to like spell out some Spanish shit, I'd be like, wait a minute. Let me sound this motherfucker out real quick. Un poquito. Like, my nigga.
Different ways of doing this. Don't learn only one way. That's a big mistake that artists can make. I just like only this way that these people do, and that should be the only way. Like be smart, and use this way, use my way, use other ways until that you feel like okay, now I'm getting this right. Like I think like all these artists, I think all of these people, Ray, whatever all the artists are saying, all these points are the same and they make sense. Okay, so. All right. Well, 27 minutes went, and I was talking about 27 minutes. But yeah, this is information that is here on YouTube, that is in many places. But I just wanted to do this because I didn't want to jump into drawing faces without explaining a little bit what we're gonna be doing, right? Because that's what we want to do. We want to like be able to draw all of these and complete and do work. Okay? So,
fact. In the new economy, average people are becoming millionaires faster and easier than ever before. But how do they do it? According to the news, the whole world's falling apart. Well, that's the million-dollar question. Now, if you're not interested in the million-dollar answer, go ahead and skip to the end of this video, and I'm sorry for wasting your time. But if you do want to know more, keep watching, and in the next 60 seconds, I'm going to teach you the
I don't want to know more, so I'm not going to keep watching. I'm gonna skip this.
All right, let's get a new layer here, and I'm gonna bring. We're gonna do 3-minute drawings, right? We're gonna do 3-minute drawings, and I'm gonna talk about the head. Before I completely before we go to that. I just wanted to clarify some things here. Very important things here. We are not looking to replicate. We are not replicating what we see. I'll see what replicate, not replicar, duplicar. No, duplication. So I'm not trying to make the same thing as I see in the photo. I'm trying to and we have to do a lot of repetition to repeat a lot. repeat the same drawing a lot until you get it, because the structure is the same. Whatever is on top of the face is whatever you want to be. Also, do skull studies. That's the fastest way to improve. Can be hard, but this is the best way. If you know this, everything else is it become easy. And then later, yeah, that'll be. So we are looking like to duplicate what we see on the photo. We are not aiming for exact likeness. No. You're right. I don't know how to say exact. Well, don't make this. Don't looking for like not likeness. No. Likeness yet. So don't worry about like, oh, this stuff looks so realistic and he's not drawing it there, or the thing is wrong, and be open to mistakes. Open to, I wouldn't even say mistakes. Open to changes. Be positive, no? Open to changes. You can erase. You can change your drawing. You can correct, change it. So repeat it again and try to correct and try to understand. Be open to changes and be open to do this again and again and again. All right. So well, get your drawings, get your iPads, get your sketchbooks out there, and we're gonna start with 3 minutes. Let me see the settings here before I jump into it. Yeah, let's do 3 minutes. Okay. So let's start this. Thank you for like joining as well. I'm gonna be showing some cool stuff later. I'm gonna be adding later on some of these surprises here. So when we do the face later on, we can see a little bit of the planes of the face according to what we have. So this will be also helping us to have a guide on what are we drawing. You know, it will actually help us. Probably it's not gonna be the same angle as the photos, but this will gonna help us later on to, you know, as some material that we can look at just in case we are kind of like lost. And I prepared these. I don't have all the angles, but I have the main ones, frontal and the side. So I thought that would be a great tool for us to do. I don't see many people doing it. So yeah. Okay, so let's go and let's do the stuff. Too much talking. Too much talking. All right, let's see a good head to practice. I'm gonna find for something that is kind of easy. Usually, like male faces are. These are some of the examples of the faces that I collected for this workshop. So all of these are there. Yeah, this is a good one. This is a good face. So this is only like 3 minutes, by the way. So I just only gonna focus on finding. Let me make my screen bigger because I need to see the reference. Okay. So let's do the circle. Do the circle first. Let me try to bring that jaw. I'm trying to find the angles of the skull there. I'm gonna try to find this circle. Trying to lower, bring that line down here to the jaw. And then we can connect the jaw. Remember, you guys, you can watch this again and again later on. Don't forget to, when you divide on the side of the head, to find the ear. The ear is one of the best ways to track whatever we're drawing, because from there we get the jaw, and from there we get the neck. You know. So try to think about the head as a whole thing. With, you know, encourage you with draw with the neck, and try to add other parts of the face of the head. I know it's hard. This is hard, but that's the best way to do. If you only draw the face and don't draw the neck, then you're gonna have a hard time. So this is about practicing, right? So I see the faces like this. I like to design or find the side of the face, and then from here try to find the angle, try to find our box. I can see the face is tilted, right? So I'm trying to find that box a little bit. And if it looks a little bit complicated how I'm doing it, I'm doing a bunch of lines. Because this is my first one, so if I make mistakes, guys, or I do it in a certain way, well, just repeat the video. So once I have this structure, I do the center line here. Try to find and divide based on the lower part of the ear where the bottom of my nose is gonna be, right? Then the mouth. And then our face here. And this is 3 minutes. Probably I'm doing too much for 3 minutes. But we will see. This is also my first time doing this tree, so guys don't judge me. Okay? Also use the hairline to give us like a sense of the structure, right? If you add some of that hairline, it will help us too. But we do the hair after finding the skull, right? And the nose, and the mouth. I'm gonna try to make it more simplified next time, right? This was just 3 minutes, right? And I added a lot of information. So don't worry if it's too overwhelmed, just little by little, little by little. And okay, so we find the head, the head, find the head, skull. Then we find the center line, try to find the center line. It's not completely straight, she's tilting the head a little bit like this. So we try to find that. We mark where we're gonna draw the jaw, right around here, and then we connect our sides. We can see the ear. It's important that we find the ear. The ear is higher, right? It's even higher than her eyes. So that means that we're gonna be able, we have to see more of the skull in the back. So be open to correct things and change and expand and add some more information if we need, right? It's always compare, like, well, it seems like the eyes is here, so probably my eyes are gonna be like down here, right? Also, you can draw a little bit of the eyes, try to find the eyes in there, and then add like a triangle shape, and then you will find the nose, and then you can do a little mark for the lips, you know, and then the eyebrows, right? So this is kind of like a basic way of doing this. Notice that she has the face has like the cheekbones are really pronounced. So you can see how the cheekbone kind of connect with her mouth here. So that's part of the structure we're gonna need to be breaking down more in the future. And I'm gonna be probably creating a more complicated or more like detailed drawing tutorial for the head. The ones that I have are the basic ones, because I always thought that those are the most important ones, right? Try to draw also the hair to give us like a sense of like where the hair of this person. It can help us to give more character to our drawing, right? And if it doesn't look perfect, don't worry. Like I said, we're not looking for likeness. We're trying to like find the eyes. The nose too. The nose is very complicated. I need another extra tutorial, right? So, also when you draw the structure, also notice how the eyebrows can change a little bit of the direction. Is a little bit closer here, right? So it's all about comparison. And well, I jumped pretty quick, so that's why this part is just construction. So feel free to come back and then draw that. I don't know about this face, but I will draw it later. I know you guys probably would like to draw something more cute. But for our studies, when we're studying, especially warming up, try to find photos like this one. It's on my Pinterest, by the way, but this one will help us to find the structure. And it's because it has like more straight lines, it's easier. I think the female face is harder because it's more subtle. So it's harder for us to find like that three-dimensional like shape and of our faces, right? So the male face is a better way to learn, and then later on you can learn how to draw the female face, and that's a good way of doing this, right? So I'm trying to find the center line here, trying to divide this a little bit, try to add marks, some of the angle of the face, maybe the forehead, right? Forehead, I bring that line here, that is my jaw. This is the chin, and then the jaw is here. Notice that there's a shape there that we need to connect. Lines are going there, the ear. Always think about the ear, and the bottom of the ear, what does it match, right? I think it matches the nose. So that will be a good way to like bring that center line and then create that nose there, right? Create that nose. For the mouth, I like to do it more like a kind of like a curve there, because it's easier for us to later like break down the lips and everything, right? Also, you can just make a mark for the eyes. Where do you think the eyes are gonna be, right? Also, the shape of the eyebrow. Yeah, that kind of face. This kind of faces is easier to draw. It's actually more fun, especially if you guys are into comics and stuff like that. This is a great one to practice many times. I will draw this like plenty of time. I will not get tired because you will learn so much by drawing these, like, right? So these are my kind of like my structure ones that I'm doing here. You can add some circles there, some spheres for the eyes, and maybe some more lines for the nose. I like that smile. It's a good way to have like a reference point, you know, have a reference point and build. Also, like I said, draw the neck and draw the neck. The neck is not like this, like a tube. See how it kind of curves like this. I also have a tutorial on how to draw the neck, so you can check that, right? So we have the neck, and then we have the rest of the shoulder and whatever. That will help us, and I probably will draw this stuff again and again and again and again, right? I will later gonna go back with the structure and then with the planar face, and that will help us to find our drawings. As for the girls, for women, when you are drawing the face of the women, it's the same, basically the same thing. You know, draw a sphere. Find the angle of the eyes. You said the eyes are not like in a straight line. The eyes are like more like this. Try to find that relationship, and then try to find the relationship with the ear, and that will give us that box that we're looking for, right? That kind of like 3 points, ear and eyes, and then you will see like, oh, it's actually tilting the face a little bit more to the side. All right, so I'm gonna draw the center line here. I'll try to find the side of the head. Try to give it some kind of shape to it. Find the jaw. She has a very defined jaw, so that helps us. But also notice the angle. Like I'm not drawing like straight line like this. Notice the angle, how it connects from the ear to the lower part of the jaw. Right? Try to find the ear. Ear is here. So based on the ear, we're gonna find more information. Right? Find some more information. Try to find the center line. Even if you make mistakes, it's fine. Just try to correct yourself. I'm also making mistakes, and it's fine. This is part of the process. So don't push yourself don't be harsh with yourself if you're struggling, because I struggle too. Right? Also try to find that bottom of the nose, like the same. Try to like draw a line for our box, right? I should be drawing more of these books for you guys, right? And then here we're gonna find the bottom of the nose, the eyes. I like to draw like 2 spheres here, and then from there start building the rest of the face. The mouth too. Think about the shape of the mouth, not like not the lips in specific, right? The lips of the whole shape of the lips. And then try to draw the jaw a little bit more, and the neck. The neck is very thinner, so it feels more feminine, right? More feminine neck. And before we continue, I like to add the hair. The hair is gonna be a good way to frame our face, right? Frame our face by drawing the hair. Oh, well, this is why we need probably more time. So I'm noticing that I need probably more time, but they probably will come back to it. This is the one we were doing before, and because, why not? I can continue and I can expand a little bit better. I know I know I'm drawing pretty fast, guys. I know I'm drawing pretty fast, and you guys might want to have more time to do this stuff. That's why the video is recorded, because you can always go back and rewind and do all of that, right? So I don't want to go extra super slow. I want to have the information so you guys can come back to it. So, okay. So this is the point of this video. So you guys come back and practice from this and learn the pointers and, get used to the information, right? You can practice with the photos that I have here on my Pinterest that are there. But the good thing is, like, we can always keep expanding on the face, on what we have done here. The structure is here. And now I want to find more specific things, like, for the eyes. I want to match the other eye here. I want to keep it like how it is like right now, right? I like to, something that helps me a lot is to find some kind of shadow. If I add a little bit of the shadow inside the eye socket there, I can start finding better shapes. And I think I'm gonna bring the head. I say I was gonna do this later, but I'm gonna bring that face so you guys can see what I'm talking about. I thought I was gonna do more warm-ups, but I guess I'm jumping to this already, right? And I like, because if you have that reference there of that model with the face, you can actually do some shading and work a little bit more of the structure, right? Because you are having that guy there. Notice how the lips are like basically darker on the reference of the mannequin of the head. So we can use that to inform our drawing, right? So don't think that you have to be alone doing this. You can use these models, and that will help you a lot. That will help you a lot to start finding more of this, of the person, of the face, of the head. And again, don't worry too much about being perfect with your thing, with your drawing. Just try to match, try to understand what we're doing here, right? It helps a lot. Look at the jaw. Look down with the jaw there. It creates a nice shadow. So that helps us to build our drawings, adding those shadows. But we need to know where, right? Look at the bottom of the ear. A little bit of shadow there helps a lot, right? So I'm gonna move to another one. Probably we'll go back to it, but let's work on this one here. And for that one, I have a similar kind of face there, kind of like side. So I'm gonna do the same. I'm gonna go with my sphere. Also look at the pictures. Sometimes I'm not looking at the pictures and I'm building whatever. It's also hard to do this and also talk at the same time. Trust me. So maybe this is a good way for me to see if I can, how much information I can add. Maybe I'm going too fast. Maybe I'm gonna make only what is super basic for drawing the head. Like, so I'm testing, guys, right? This is the first session. This is the first time I do this. It also helped me for my practice. And you can see how I do this stuff, right? When I do the structure, right? I found the circle, I found the center line, find that side of the face here, right? Try to find that side. But look at the neck. The neck, it gives you so much gesture, and yet we don't forget about gesture here, right? We get that neck there. You get that nice shape. And I'm gonna give you a tip, probably one of the best tips I learned for drawing heads. Okay, this is probably my one of my best tips that I have, and this is what they use in painting in when they do like painting in Italy and all these people. Like I just saw that it's like to do a head with gesture, just draw an egg, and then from one of the side just bring one line like this, and then you're gonna have a face with more gesture and more flow to your things, right? So you always can have that tool there. It's great. I love this because when I saw this face of this head, I will probably will do that. I probably will draw this big mass of the face, and then I'm gonna bring one line from the ear, right? This is the ear, and then from there I'll bring that neck, and then boom, we get a nice gesture face that we can start dividing. So that probably will be a way for me to build the structure, like at the level where I'm drawing, right? Kind of complicated, but simple, right? So yeah, just keep this tip for you. This is probably one of my best tips ever. And just draw that egg, and then draw that neck, and then you're gonna have. If you see all the old paintings from the masters, from Michelangelo and all these dudes, they always have that kind of gesture where they're looking up to the sky because the angels are coming or whatever, right? So this is a good way to do that, right? Like, so if you look at some Michelangelo drawings, and you will see how most of the drawings have that kind of flow, and it's very appealing, and it works pretty well. Right? I know this can be too much information, but again, you can come back to the video, you can watch it again, and you can have fun. But I found this tip. Some water. I found this tip when I was living I was studying art in Italy, and I look at the wall. There were a lot of paintings on the wall, like a fresco, whatever. And some parts were like coming down, and I saw the under sketch, and that under sketch was that kind of like egg shape like this, and then with the neck and everything. And it kind of like wow makes things so much simpler, you know. And then you can divide it, you can put the eyes and the nose, and then you can build whatever, right, on top of it. So, well, the photos have been changing, so apologies for that. The photos have been changing, but I just go into this. Yeah, the video is gonna be recorded. So I'm gonna go and make another layer, right? It has only been like an hour, right? So I'm gonna reset this drawing here, and the photo, and we're gonna go to like, yeah, let's go to this one. This one is a great one. And let's match the face. Come on, yeah, that one. So this is gonna probably help us when we're drawing our practices, right? So again, I'm gonna go with a sphere. I'm gonna go with a sphere again. I want to throw that center line there. Sphere, center line. But look at the picture that you have, right? And you can see that it's a 3/4, and then you can have that sphere. Try to find the side of the sphere. Draw a line dividing that. Remember, all of these steps are on the tutorials down there. So you can check the tutorials and learn this step by step. I explain it really like slow there, right? So I have that structure there of the face. Try to find the jaw. Yeah, the jaw. I look at my reference here on the screen of the face with the planes, and I notice that there's almost like a straight line for the jaw. Right? It has a very defined, cheekbone, right? Cheekbone, and then straight line to the chin, and then the rest, right? Try to like add some division. Don't forget about the ear. Sometimes our drawings might not. Sometimes when we're drawing our characters, the hair will cover the ear, but always draw the ear so you know where are where are your proportions or where is the angle of the face and everything. Don't forget to draw the neck. Add some gesture to the neck. Don't draw it like a with straight lines. So it looks like a robot or something, right? And if I have this, I mean, this worked pretty well. I'm gonna add some of the hair, some of the bands of the hair. Try to design the head, but also try to add the shape of the hair that she has, and then it will help us more. Always draw the hair, and instead of drawing the hair step by step or like line by line, just try to find the silhouette of it, right? The basic shape. That's what we're looking here. Basic shape, angles, straight lines, and that will help us to study. Okay? And remember, this stuff takes a lot of practice, guys. I've been practicing this stuff, and I still practice whenever I can. I almost like every time I'm gonna draw, I like to practice this stuff because I personally I still need to improve a lot of things in terms of like more specific parts or shadows that I need to improve my drawings. I think like now, like these photos are changing too fast. I think so. Let's change it to a little bit more longer time. I think these are 3 minutes is too hardcore, right? So let me change the settings, and we're gonna make them. Let's make them like 8 minutes. I know it was like eight. That's 8 minutes. Let's see, 5 minutes. Let's do it 5 minutes. Okay, 5 minutes there. Then change it. We're gonna go back to this face that I was drawing. I know it's gonna be repeated soon. Right? So this is part of the structure and I draw again and again and again. I'm probably gonna do like another session where I just draw freely. So let's move this to the side. And yeah, let's draw this guy here, right? Again, I'll draw a sphere, and I'm gonna try to see what I'm looking at and then try to bring that center line. This guy basically has the same jaw of this sort of character, right? As a mannequin. Try to add the side of the face or the head of the skull, and then bring that line down. Divide that circle here, divide it down so we can find the jaw. Mark where you think the jaws might gonna be. Remember that we can change this later on. This is just a rough or like a basic way of drawing this stuff. If it's not perfect, don't worry about it. Maybe I need to expand more for the cheeks, and I can bring that neck. Oh, sorry, the ear. Forget the ear. Tiny ear. Here's a tiny ear. So for the ear, we're gonna draw that line going down. Not straight. Don't do like a straight line, please. And then we draw the line. Then we have our neck. We can also add some shadow there. I like to add some shadow to start creating some kind of volume for myself. And then I noticed that my center line is not pretty center, so let's correct that. And let me erase here. And then I can start dividing, right? I see my ear, and I try to see like, oh, if I draw a line like this, they're kind of aligned to the eyes. Maybe my ear needs actually to go lower. So don't be shy and move it, right? Because for me, I think this head is more like this. Yeah, I think for the next time I do this workshop, I'm gonna do the box so you guys can see what I'm seeing, right? So it's more like this. I need to find the angle for the forehead, right? Yeah, I'm planning to keep doing these live drawings or study sessions of the head. So I'm gonna be doing more. Let's find the bottom of the nose. And then will you find it with the bottom of the ear? Bring that line to compare. And probably around this area, that's where it's gonna be, right? It's a little bit wider. So, and wide. Has a very big lips. So try to add that in there. Draw the shape, but also look at the mannequin, right? Mannequin. Another way to get a better way at proportions is just create that nose bridge there. That shape there is pretty useful to start dividing the face, right? And I like to draw two spheres. Bring that line there. If you see the figure or the mannequin that we have, it will help us to inform our drawing of the angle. It's always useful to do that. So that's why I brought this, because instead of explaining all that, I can explain, but you can also see it from here, right? You have a better idea. I wish I had known about these heads like when I was starting to draw of these heads with all the planes. I didn't know that until like many years later. It will avail me so much. I just found out for like 5 years or more than that drawing. I'm like, what? This is amazing. I didn't know because I didn't have any classes, and that's one of the reasons why I'm doing this, because I'm sharing my knowledge. I didn't know about this later on in my art career, so I want to help you guys. So anything that you find on the face on the photo that you see, maybe you can make a mark and then compare your proportions, right? Also look at the shadow shapes that come from the cheekbones to the mouth, to the corner of the mouth, to the bottom of the chin, right? Pretty good. Oh no, the thing changed. We will come back to this one again, right? And it's taking more time. But this is a good way to build the structure, right? We can start building from this and this and this. Before I move on, and I want to explain a little bit some things that I think you guys are asking me. So I'm gonna give this tip about finding the size and distance from the eyes. And let's see, we changed the plane to see the flat front, right? I like to think about this in a graphic way. I think about the eye as a sphere, and then the other eye as a sphere, right? But we want to have like a center line that divides that. That will be our center, right? Then look at this shape in the figure, in the model, right? In the plastic head. It's a little bit more complicated in this model there, but if we find this shape that is for the nose, that will help us to find the distance for our eyes, right? So then later we can bring that kind of shape, right? And this one is divided in more pieces, right? I like to divide it probably in less pieces, but this is a more simplified way, right? Then later you can add whatever your eyes and all the stuff. And well, one of the rules it says like between eye and another eye, there's another eye, right? So probably this is a good way to find the distance, right? Between each eye, there's another eye. But I like to think more about this shape here, because it gives me more structure if I put it in perspective. If I put it in perspective like this, then I have a better way of building from there. And then I can bring the sphere of the eye more like inside the skull, right? More back to the skull. And this line that goes from here to here, that's where we cry. This is where we cry, right? some water too. Don't use the eyebrow to find a structure. That's not the right way to do this, right? Even though it looks like an eyebrow, notice how like in the real structure of the figure that we have here is more like 1, 2, and 3. This will be the side of the face, right? And we have an eyeball here. What happens is that this is the bone structure, but our eyebrow will go over this. And that's something that is more complicated, but not so complicated when you start seeing those little difference, right? Like if you touch your eyebrow, you will see like touch the corner of your eyebrow, and then you will see it's not in that corner of your skull, right? Right. So yeah, this is like some tips there. There's a lot of tips about head drawings again, like I said at the beginning. So those things are like you can find in there, in other channels as well. I'm gonna try to keep bringing more of this knowledge out too for you guys as I go. But this is a live stream where we can just talk about this more openly and have fun, right? So I'm gonna bring some of the head again, and then we can move on. All right, let's do some more drawings of the heads. Right, so we're gonna get our candy. Right. So we're gonna draw that sphere. We're gonna draw those lines for the side of the face. Find that ear. Notice that the ear is pretty low, so that let us know that our head that we're seeing is like in this box, in this kind of angle, right? Pointing to that side. And then the neck is like this. So this is the basic direction of the elements, right? And so we have our head there, we have a circle. Sometimes we can bring the head, the back of the skull, and then bring that forward. It's another way of doing this, right? And that can make our life easier, and that's why it's good to learn from different people. Bring that neck like this, simple, nice. Try to find the side of the head, like adding that circle here. Right. And the division, define the center line. Right, so we have this information. I want to also add the hair. Also give us some kind of feeling of this person here. And I like to kind of measure with some straight lines from the forehead to the nose, trying to find that shape that I was talking before, right? And trying to find the eye. Find the eye, and then see how much the nose kind of overlaps. We show the bottom of the nose, and then we have the lips. Then we have the chin. We have that very sharp line from the cheekbones. Maybe this is something I'm learning today too. Don't forget, this is really sharp, straight line from the chin to the cheekbone, and then have that division there, right? It brings a lot. So I'm actually practicing with you guys. You know, I'm teaching what I know, but at the same time, I'm practicing this stuff, right? I'll draw my eye, draw the other eye, to give you some structure. But this is not how I draw the faces. Like, I'm probably gonna be doing all of these structure things. I'm probably gonna be drawing what I see more because I know already the structure, right? So I can start adding what I actually want to draw on my face. So I try to like, once you learn all of this stuff, or as you go, you're gonna start like using less construction and then getting more of that drawing experience without struggling, figuring out all of this stuff. Structure is good, but there's a point where you also need to draw more freely your drawings, right? That's what we want after all of this. So if I have to do this structure every time I draw the face, I probably would get bored, or I would be like tired of doing this. Because once you know, but you have to keep coming back and practicing more and more and more. That happens to me. I'm drawing my anime characters and I'm using less structure for my anime faces. But when I come back, I'm like, oh man, like I need to practice and go back a little bit and refresh on the planes of the face and all of this stuff. So we tend to forget, or we tend to like brush a little bit over some of the knowledge because you can start forgetting about these big things, right? Well, I'm just gonna add more specifics, but I mean I can also create my face. I can create the faces myself, right? So that's just one other example of it. I'm gonna do another one. Okay, and this one is cute, but this one is nicer because there are more angles, right?
Yeah,
So I'm gonna try to simplify in my brain what I see first, try to visualize that box. I can see like the lines of the eyes are like in this direction here, and probably our box is gonna be probably something like this too, but a little more radical like this one. This is where we want to align things like probably like my ear is gonna be around here. That's what I see first. When I see this photo, I don't think about oh what beautiful eyes or what beautiful lips or how cute she is or whatever that stuff. I'm thinking about like well this is the angle of the eyes, these eyes together. I'm doing this line, and then where is the ear? Is the ear like down here? Okay, right? So I try to find those angles first. I know I said about draw the sphere and all that, but this is when I look at the picture, not when I'm drawing. I look at the picture and I analyze this. Where are the eyes? Where is the ear? And then where is the rest? Okay? So that's why I said there are many ways of doing your drawings. Just keep it like keep doing this step by steps or and study different approaches to this, and then you will first it's gonna be more fun to do, and secondly you're gonna have more range. You know, so now I keep in mind that angle of the eyes, and now I'm gonna be drawing a little bit more freely without building so much stuff. Because I feel like first I already warm up, but I'm gonna be laying what the information that I need. Also remember that different features, different kind of races, like Asians have like different. The nose bridge is not gonna be like straight like this, like that. So it's gonna be a little more soft, more rounded, right? Also, the bottom of the nose, I like to make a line, compare with the ear to see where it is. It's a lot of comparison, right? The lips, I like to think about the lips as a whole shape, not as an upper lip, right? Just to start adding something there. Also, I like to add the eyeballs, even though she's like Asian and the eyes are like more has a different shape. or of the eyelid. Everybody has, or our eyes are all the time like a sphere, right, inside our skull. So what only changes is the way we draw the eye, right? We can draw like this, and then we're gonna have a different kind of race. Those are the things that are more specific, right? We can have something more like this, more like European, whatever. But always draw the sphere, and then on top of that, you can design the eyelid. Right? Also, don't worry, you can add some of the eyebrows, and then you can start comparing. Don't forget the hair. It's always good. I'm not going to draw the hand because I'm lazy, or because I'm focusing on heads and not draw on the hands. But even then, we can, if we want to do that, we can just simplify that shape of the hand and just add that hand there later on. But I'm focusing on the face first. So try to add that. Even if you don't have the information, just be creative, have some freedom too, and draw the rest. The neck. Draw the neck, draw that nice hair there. And and once you have this, this is more than enough to start, you can go and draw more of what you see. And draw the eyes, draw a nice shape. You can add a little bit of shade here to help you with the makeup. So do whatever you feel like it will help you to see more of the structure or of the face, to make it more like, start taking shape a little bit. Oh man, the photo changed. But yeah, right, this is, well, once we have this, it's just about adding all of those nice.
Injections can make diabetes complicated. Meet Omnipod. It delivers insulin without daily injections. Just
deep the slopes are of the canal at that point. So whatever this vessel finder map says, it sounds to me like they don't know exactly, because that's what the article said. So maybe it's an estimate or something. Fly to map. So fly to map is, I guess this shows you how generally deep the canal is. That's actually very interesting. Is this feet or meters? I don't know. See, it says like 8216. Is that in meters or feet? See, it says 16, 33, 82. Again, I just don't know. 7. That's helpful. But also, it's possible that's not going to, if you go back to the Bloomberg article, that they might need a lot more detail about the specifics of how the slope is. A big part of the initial underwater assessment is how much the banks slope at that point in the canal. And it's a very specific point, too. Okay. But that's interesting. Hang on a second here. One of our viewers says, I can't view the live stream on YouTube. Well, a lot of people are viewing it on YouTube. Let me see. I'm going to go to my channel. I'll go to my channel and see. Agenda Free TV. Suez Canal blocked. Live coverage. Click. There it is. Try it again. All I can say is try it again if you can't watch it, because I can watch it on YouTube just fine. I just did it. So if you're watching and you haven't been able to try it again, go to my page. But it is working. I'm literally watching it right now, as many other people are. So also, if you want, you can just send feedback to YouTube, please, and let them know you can't see it. But please try again, because for many people it's working. You might need to refresh it. I'll post the link again in the Facebook chat for people who are trying to watch. But looks, I mean, I have, it seems to be working on my end. Okay. Oh, hey, thanks again to our moderators, Dan Lindquist, Bud Green, Kimberly Peterson. Dan and Bud thinks the map is in meters. I don't know. It doesn't say. Oh, I'm guessing it's in metric because at the bottom it says millimeters. So I'm guessing. Well, I don't know. I'm guessing these numbers are in meters. Thanks to Mark Helton, Lizzie. They're moderating there. And thanks also to DEJ the pastor for moderating. Thank you. And thanks also Ellie Bourne and Tariak for moderating on Twitch. Thanks Bobby J for your support. Bobby's mad that I won't waste time looking up a video on YouTube that claims the ship is freed when all of the world's major media and satellite tracking show that it's not free. Thank you, hey, Rid Comics. Thank you, Rid Comics, for your support. I appreciate that. Rid Comics from Canada. Rid Comics says, what a mess this has caused. Yeah, it's terrible. And it's not ending anytime soon. Aries says, how will this ship saga end? Elisa in Daisy's Beagle says, is this what is lodged? Something like this. Something like this. The bulbous bow of the ship is lodged. Let me show you here. If I can find some pictures of it here. If we go to marine traffic, this is marine traffic. This is the ship. Any other pictures of it? No. I want to find a picture of the ship where you can maybe see the bottom of it. They would have to have it like in dry dock or something. Yeah, I can't find one right now with its bulbous, but if you look up bulbous bow, you will see pictures of ships that show it has image search, bulbous bow. That's what the ship has. You know, these ships have this protruding part on the front, on the bow. See? So when you see, you know, like here, here, and here. So when you see this picture here of the ship wedged in to the side, you're not seeing the bulbous bow, but that's wedged in. Here, look. This is from the Egyptian government. So you got, I mean, one of the articles said there could be up to, did they say 15 meters or 5 meters? Did they say 15 meters in the Bloomberg article? What did they say here? Let's see. Yeah, they said Ever Given calculated, Western shipping experts who analyzed photos of the Ever Given calculated that her protruding bulb at the bottom was as much as 5 meters buried into the canal wall, which would be about 15 feet. Actually, more like 16 feet. So when you see this, there's a big part of the ship that's wedged into the side here that you can't see, that protrudes out. And similarly, where's the other picture here? This one. See, what you're not seeing is below the water line. The front of that strip that protrudes out is stuck. I mean, it looked like what happened is the ship was. It looks kind of like what happened is the ship was moving. it turned, and it was heading directly for the side of the canal. So it just rammed into the side and got wedged in there. That's what it looks like it happened. You know, it looks like the ship was, and this is from Vessel Finder. I mean, it looks like the ship was just moving and just kind of rammed into the side that way. So the point just the bottom just stuck right in. It's wedged in there. I mean, we read the Bloomberg article, in the company working on getting it out. It says look what it says. It says right here. The first job will be to work out exactly how entrenched in the canal wall the ship is, said a spokesman for the company that's been hired to help remove the ship. It will be critical to inspect the vessel and how deeply it is lodged in the embankment. The question is how solidly she has been grounded. They don't know, but it's wedged in there. By the way, thank you, Kona Coffee, for your support. That is very generous of you, Kona Coffee. I really appreciate that, Kona Coffee. Thank you. Also, thank you so much, Upstate Zach.
$50.
Thanks, Upstate Zach, for your support. Thanks, Upstate Zach, for shouting out the mods. Thank you both. It's very kind of you.
I really appreciate that one. 50 beans.
Okay. Help Me Rhonda says she ain't going nowhere. Kendall Davis says it's not her fault, high winds cause it. Well, again, this whole thing about the wind, it's just, this idea that just the wind blew it there really doesn't make much sense to me. I can't imagine that if wind causes this by itself, then it was a mistake to let it be sailing or somebody messed up. Did the ship lose steering power? We don't know. It's very confusing right now.
Some ship
still
got the Suez Canal blocked off.
I want to show you
for
some
hours
other
now
articles
because
to show you some other
it's
descriptions
stuck in the
about
side of
what
the fucking wall.
Oh, this is from Steve Kerr. Look, Steve Kerr sent this photo. See, it says Ever Given. See, it actually protrudes out there. So if you look here, see it goes down and then it protrudes out at the front. So, you know, thank you, Steve. So when you see it like this, you're not seeing the protruding out. And remember that it's not going to slope inward underwater. It's going to probably, if anything, it's going to slope towards the ship. It really looks like the ship it ran into the side of the canal. And it's just enormous. It's 1,300. It's longer than an aircraft carrier. It's a quarter of a mile long, 1,300 something feet long. Here again is a satellite image. It's just wedged in there. That is from Planet Labs. Planet Labs satellite posted by Aurora Intel. What is this? I don't know who this person is. Someone sent me a tweet, but I'm unable to review the tweet because the account holder controls who views their tweets.
I'm gonna tweet you, but I ain't gonna let you see that shit. Unless you follow my Twitter.
Hang on.
Steve Lagarde, I'm gonna follow you real quick.
Kibu Fox thinks the soundings here, thinks these are in feet. Kibu Fox thinks these are in feet. and says they don't do soundings every day. They can be as much as a year old. A good point that, you could imagine the contours changing over time because, debris or sand is floating through the water, maybe it gets deposited or it gets eroded, the canal wall. Just Josh says, I hope it doesn't capsize and then have to be broken into chunks like the container ship in Brunswick, Georgia last year. Yeah, I've heard no reporting this is going to capsize. I've not heard anybody express worry over it, so I don't think that's going to happen, just because I haven't seen it. Nobody is worrying about that right now. But yeah, there was a ship stuck in Port of Brunswick. I don't even know what's going on with that ship, if it's been moved. That one is. The MV Golden Ray was a 200-meter long car carrier that capsized in September 2019. It was eventually declared in the Port of Brunswick in Georgia. It was eventually declared a total loss and is being removed as scrap.
None of them were from America.
Is being removed.
Like, it was different, but the one she's from.
As of January 2021, preparations for the separation of Section 7
my
from the
best friend. I've
record
never
underway.
hit off with somebody that I just don't know. You know what I mean? But like,
So they're cutting off parts
she
of the
said,
ship. But I haven't heard that
the only
anything
time
like
you
that's
saw
going to
black
happen with this
people
ship.
were
It
when
just
they were
sounds
in
like
the
the plan for this ship
and she
is
was like,
to,
I'll be
they
honest
have
with
to
you, she was like,
dig it out
it
because
took me to move from
it's
where I was
embedded
from
in the side of the canal. And
to
maybe
see
other parts
a
of the ship are
difference. She was
embedded
like,
as
and I was
well.
raised
You
a
need to
certain way.
dig
I was like,
around the
you know
ship
how
and
much
free it
balls
that
it take
way.
to come on
And also
a
you have to
platform and tell
lighten the
people
ship.
that basically your parents are
Digging it
racist
out
and
and
you got to learn how to
lightening
be
is the
not
two
racist.
things
I'm
that
like, yo, it's
the
nothing wrong
article
with
said
that.
where they interviewed the company
You
working
did what
on
you had
this.
to do as long as you know. But like this one Middle Eastern chick kept trying to say like she could pass for white, and she kept trying to say like, oh, stop trying to say all white people are racist. And the white girl jumped in. The Lebanese girl was like,
Yeah, so
no, first of all,
one of
don't
our
tell black
viewers,
people how to feel
EG,
about
sent
their
me a
issues.
tweet. I don't know if it's
So
true,
I was
where
like,
somebody
what about all the
claimed,
Muslims that come over here,
this
or
person
people that aren't
Jamie claimed
Muslims,
that
and
they
people
were
that assume
seeing
they are. She was like,
tugs
that's
turning
true.
around ships.
Believe it or not.
I read an article today
I
saying
explained to
that
them about that.
for some of the ships
Cultural
waiting, they
appropriation.
might not be able.
And I
There
was like,
wasn't
nobody cares if
really
you wear some
much
braids,
room
yo,
to
but stop
maneuver them,
acting
and they
like
might
y'all
not be
fucking
able to
created
turn
the
around
hairstyle.
some of them. But I don't know. So I want to show you. Let me
That
show
was
you some of the other
interesting.
articles on
But
this.
nobody
Get some
really gave me
perspective.
no like,
Okay. Let me show you. There were a couple good articles
like all
on this that I
lives
read
matter
today.
type shit.
Hmm.
But they said it's pretty racist in Paris and Amsterdam. But they said Amsterdam is more like in the closet.
All right, so again, what we're covering here, just to take a step back here, the Suez Canal here is one of the world's busiest shipping lanes. 10% of the world's shipping traffic goes through the Suez Canal. It connects the Red Sea and the Mediterranean Sea, and is located in Egypt here. For about 40 hours now, roughly 40 hours, the canal has been completely blocked. Why? Well, because in this part of the canal, where there's only one lane here, this part of the canal, there is a ship that on Tuesday morning managed to turn sideways and ram itself into the side of the canal. That ship is called the Ever Given.
They might paint one side but don't paint the inside leg or
Let's see
something,
here.
and then it'd be white and
There's a
it don't
side
match
leg.
at the foot. And
It's
people
called
like are
the
really
Ever
tripping
Given.
over that shit, which is dumb. But
And that
like,
is where it is.
People are paying $15,000, $30,000, $50,000.
According to
Like our
Vessel
cheapest
Finder.
kitchen, like a whole set,
And
is probably like
you can
$6,000,
see here,
$7,000, and that's not even.
There's a
even,
photo
like,
from yesterday from
appliances and shit.
Julie
So-
Ancona, who is on the ship behind it.
Well, it
It
does.
is just
It's
wedged
like, you know
in
what I
at the
mean?
front.
But now they have to keep.
The front has made contact with the sand side of the canal and is wedged in
doing
there.
this and
I'm
doing
not sure if the back is grounded, I'm not sure, or if any other part of the ship is touching the ground, but it is wedged in at the front. And it's taking up the
He
whole
will be
canal.
eventually.
It is much
It probably
wider
gets
than
on
the
next
canal
year
is
for
wide.
everyone
The
to
canal
start
looks to be
seeing
about
something.
900 feet or 950 feet wide. This ship is about 1,300 feet long. It's enormous. It's one of the biggest ships in the world. So no one can get by. Normally 50 ships a day use the canal, but no ships a day can use it right now. There's no way around this. And it looks like it's going to be a while, because we just read an article from Bloomberg, where they talked to a company that's been hired to help move the ship, and their team will be flying in at dawn tomorrow. That's when their team is going to fly in. So this is going to be a while. We are going to be giving you more updates. We're taking your comments on the air. Give me a shout at Lookner on Twitter. That's where you can send in your comments, questions. One of our viewers said, FSB says, what country is it registered in? I can't remember. Was it a Panama flag? Is that what it had? Let's see. It is also, I think, where is it? Blah, 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 blah. Ever given details. It is sails under the flag of Panama. This is from Vessel Finder, cargo vessel. And it is, I can't remember, I believe, it's like either a Taiwanese ship, a Taiwanese company operates it and a Japanese company owns it, or a Japanese company operates it and a Taiwanese company owns it. It's one of the two. We'll have to look at one of the articles and see that. But it is stuck, and it's not going anywhere anytime soon. So will they be able to move it tomorrow? I don't know. From the article, it seemed like it was going to be a very involved process moving this thing. Upstate Zach thinks it'll be 3 days minimum. All right, let me show you here. And just to show you again these photos, because I think they're very helpful. Oh, and by the way, this is another photo that the government came out with today. This is from Inchcape Shipping, but this is a photo from a government account the government posted right here. That's another one that came out today. Tugboat. There are tugboats near the ship, but they can't do anything right now. See, these are, I believe these are tugboats here. Hold on. It's not there anymore. There were more tugboats there earlier. What's that one? Is that a tugboat? This? Let's see. That's a tugboat right there. There were more tugboats there before, but they weren't able to move it. Jack P says, has it budged at all? I am not sure if it's budged. I haven't heard any kind of report of significant movement. Okay, let's go to, here, let's look at this. The Times updated their article. Let's see if they have anything new. It said, I don't know why they have this here. That's not from this. The ship is more than 1,300 feet long. Suez Canal blocked after giant container ship gets stuck. Now this says after powerful winds forced the ship aground. Be careful with that though, because see, I think when articles say it was the wind, they're just quoting the government, and I don't know if that account from the government is completely accurate. So the government says it was due to wind, but I need to know more. I mean, we saw some articles that said that power, a couple articles that suggested maybe power, the ship lost power, and what the government statement I saw, you could interpret in one way that said the ship lost power, so I'm kind of confused about that. Anyways, after powerful winds forced the ship aground on one of the canal's banks, it was big enough to block nearly the entire width of the canal. Okay. The Suez Canal carries roughly 10% of worldwide shipping traffic. Only the Panama Canal looms as large in the global passage of goods. Okay. Also, John Conrad from the shipping news website GCaptain said 90% of the world's goods are transported on ships. The vessels caught in the bottleneck or expected to arrive there in the coming days include oil tankers carrying about 1/10 of a day's total global oil consumption. To say nothing of the rest of the cargo now waiting. Okay, the ship was heading from China to Rotterdam in the Netherlands. It ran, again, this is from the government. It ran aground amid poor visibility and high winds from a sandstorm that struck much of northern Egypt this week. The storm caused an inability to direct the ship, he said in a statement. That's literally from the government. That's a government statement. I don't know if it's true. So I'm not for reasons I said before, I don't find the Egyptian government trustworthy. They are well known for restricting freedom of the press, so they have certainly a vested interest in keeping people's faith and confidence in the Suez Canal because the government runs it and they make billions of dollars from it. So I'm not going to just readily accept the government's account as true. Also, I don't know why the government keeps saying the poor visibility. Is poor visibility from? I mean, don't they have? Can't they steer these ships without, like, don't they have, like, you know, other equipment that lets them like satellite navigation and stuff? Do they really need visibility to be able to not hit the wall of the Suez Canal? I don't know. So anyway, but just to be clear, this is coming from a government spokesperson. It's the same as they said on their website I showed you. A spokesman for GAC, a shipping agent at the canal, said in an email there was up to this moment no progress on clearing the canal. It was unclear how long the rescue operation might take. Now this is misleading too. Lieutenant General Osama Rabi, head of the Canal Authority, government, said an older section of the canal was being used to help ease the traffic jam in the waterway. You can't ease the traffic jam in the waterway. There's at this point of the canal, there's one way in and one way out. There's one way to get in. There's one canal. There's one passage. Above it, there's two. So you know, if it happened up here, north of the Great Bitter Lake, I think it's called. If it happened north of that, you would have a couple different passages that ships could take. If it happened up here. But it didn't happen up here. It happened down here. So nothing you're going to do with any kind of older passage is going to help ease the traffic jam, the big traffic jam, because this is the way in and out. And it's right now, there's a ship covering it. So it is completely blocked. That is a blockage of the Suez Canal. Okay, what else did it say? Blah, blah, blah. GAC, which is a shipping agent, said that continued high winds along with the sheer size of the ship is complicating the task. What are the winds there right now? Let's see. We'll go to windy.com and we'll go over to the wind gusts. We'll go to Egypt. They have it. Here, going to be Suez. It looks like in this area the wind gusts are about 27 miles an hour. That's gusts. That's not sustained wind. So these are gusts, but they're not. I mean, we had heard a report that there were 40 knot gusts, which would be about 45 miles an hour yesterday. So it is windy there, but it's not, you know, insane. Okay. What else do they say here? The ship's size has magnified every challenge. Though a gust of wind may seem an improbable David to the ship's Goliath, the containers stacked at least 9 high atop the deck would have acted like a giant sail, said Captain Conrad, giving Tuesday's high winds more surface area to push against. Okay. Then there's a matter of rescue. If the ship's bulk makes it impossible to drag out by tugboat, the salvage crew may need to lighten it by removing containers, pumping out the water tanks that serve as its ballast, and dredging around the bow and stern, he said. When a similarly sized ship, the CSCL Indian Ocean, became stuck in 2016 near the port of Hamburg, Germany, it took 12 tugboats and nearly a week to free it. Okay? I don't know how similar the situation is, but that a similarly sized ship in Hamburg, Germany got stuck and it took nearly a week to free it. That is a satellite shot from Planet Labs. Okay, let's see here. This economic analyst said a short-term outage was unlikely to have a lasting effect on the oil market because the demand for oil remains relatively weak. But if the ship's extraction takes longer than 2 or 3 days, it could pose a substantial risk for an already overwhelmed industry.
If it remains clogged for more than a few days, the stakes would rise significantly. This vice president of global carrier management at a company said, if that's going to be...
Alright guys, appreciate y'all chilling in the studio with me while we work on the latest portrait over here. Been working on this hair all week, and it's starting to come along nicely now. It's looking pretty good. Like I said, there's not much else I'm gonna do to the sky. I think her face is pretty good too, so I'm moving along nicely on this piece. I'll probably start working on the other side of the railings, like this portion of the painting. I'll start that this weekend and work on that for a couple days, and then this piece will be done. It's on to the next one. So, I need to contact the college too, or to see if they still want me to do that show, because I haven't heard back from that guy since he gave me the proposal last month. You know how people are, they be trying to wait till the last minute. Wait till the last minute to do shit. I don't be trying to do shit like that, yo. It be making me rush. It's all good. But I'm about to go surf the internet for some shit and grab something to eat. And I'll catch y'all next time. Peace.